Captain by a hook with a red beard. Captain by a hook with a red beard.
Man, please. They got to do better. Made this beautiful Thursday schedule, Friday schedule, times, all the games. I don't like trying to, I got the clock on the wall, schedule, boom. What game's coming up next? Okay. About 30 minutes, they tipping off. All of a sudden, North Carolina Wagner play at 145. Whole schedule on the wall wrong now. Shout out to Wagner, man, doing the dang thing. Madness is real. All the Howard betters. Get off of Twitter. Stop betting teams for dumb reasons. Howard did try to come back. However, let's jump into these new game lines. Dang. Colorado State, Texas. I gotta redo the whole board. Let's jump into both of these games. Well, not yet. Oh boy, I am excited. All right, so we're gonna jump into both of those games. We got Colorado State, Texas, Texas minus 2.5, 10-7 matchup, and then you have yeah, I just realized they're not playing for 11 seeds this year. Bro, it is bracket. This might be the worst bracket I've seen since since the King and the Duck. And then you got North Carolina taking on Wagner. Wagner. North Carolina minus 24 and a hook. I like it. I love it. The over set at 133.5, way too low. The hell up on out of here. So I think North Carolina gonna win 100-30. Anyway, we'll break down both of those games. Also, there's two games tonight for the play-in on Friday. We are looking at Montana State taking on a Louisiana team in Grambling. That line keeps moving. Montana State taking some money. If I learned anything from last night, it's fade the hell out of y'all. This line moves similar to the Howard Wagner game. Both of these games opened up 1.5. Now all of a sudden, Montana State sitting at 4.5-point favorites. Now you know that ain't right. Montana State, huh? See, this is the problem with not the problem. You look at the bracket tournament and like last night, y'all really bet Howard. Both of those teams were like 18 and 16, 17 and 18. Tonight, Grambling 20 and 14, Montana State 17 and 17. Let's bet Montana State. They're 500. Head your tails, Billy. Come on, man. We got to do better as a people. We making these sports books rich over here. Break down that game. I'll break down the second game of tonight's matchup. Colorado taking on Boise State, baby. Boise State should not be in this position. If you watch Mount West basketball like I have, Boise State should be in the damn tournament. Probably as a 9 seed. But I guess Texas A&M had a better year, huh? No, they didn't. Boise State, baby, I will break down that game right now. They are 2.5 point dogs. Definitely break that game down. Have a strong opinion in that one. She's gonna be talking madness today, baby. It's Captain by a hook with the red beard, presented by Stare Down Sports. About 27 hours away from the madness tipping off. Let the madness begin, because the madness is real. Two rules in March Madness. Don't believe the hype. Now you know that ain't right. The second rule in Madness. Be prepared for madness. It's maddening. I'm Rowan Donaghy, aka Rowan Dobbs, going live right here with you on a beautiful, sunny, 52 degrees day, the 20th of March. The I got my calendar all over the place. I'm not even on March the 80th. Look at that, huh? Moving right on along through this calendar year, the 80th day of the year 2024. Today I'm going to check out all the line movements. We're going to break down the North Carolina Wagner game, Colorado State Texas game. We're breaking down Grambling, Montana State. We're breaking down Boise State, Colorado. And we are, sorry, I usually do this before the show. Get all my tabs open. Oh, 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 oh. Still on talk some madness, man. Got a few stats here that I found interesting. It might be pointless, but who knows? Let me try and get to this dang page. Try and get to this dang thing. Wowzers. Sorry. I get it now. Oh man. Y'all boys is funny, man. Talking to myself. This is what the madness is all about, man. Two sorry ass teams somehow win three in a row in March, and now they playing for a chance to lose on Friday. I'm talking Montana State. I'm talking Grambling. Let's take a dive into Montana State real quick from the Big Sky. Um, Came out of nowhere, upset Montana in the championship game as 6.5 point dogs. Turkey Dog whooped them, won by 15. But man, other than that, the longest win streak all season before the March Madness, before the conference tournament, two. How many times did they do that? Twice. Loss, win, loss, win, loss, loss, win, loss, win, loss, 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 win, win, loss, win, win, loss, win, loss, 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 win, loss, win, loss, win. They won three in a row. You think they win four in a row? Be honest. Be honest. Montana State, baby. 17 and 17, 9 and 9. Conference play 0 and 1, quad 1, 1 and 2, quad 2, 4 6, quad 3, 10 7, quad 4. Five players in double digits if you count the two that are averaging 9.5 points. If you don't, there's only three players over 10 points a game. This team ranks 200th in defensive efficiency, giving up 1.05 points per possession. Guess how much they score? Y'all even betting on this stuff, man. The first four in is a joke, a mockery of college basketball, a money grab. They score 1.05 points per possession, give up 1.05 points per possession. Shoot the three about 36%. Pretty good shooting team, I guess. That's why y'all like the shooting metrics. People that go by metrics. Shoot about 53% from the floor inside the arc. 73% free throw shooting team, not bad. I guess what they do well, I guess a little above average. 67th in the nation. Uh, Causing turnovers. 16.5% of opponents' possessions end up in a turnover. Um, the only other statistic they have on defense in the top 100 is 99th, and that is guarding the 3-point line. So maybe y'all are onto something. They guard the 3-point line and they turn teams over above average. This team's net ranking is 208th. Let's look at Grambling. Their net ranking is 279th. I don't know why you betting any side. Grambling defense gives up 1.09 points per possession. The offense scores 0.98 points per possession. Well, the point I'm trying to make is, why is anybody betting on this? Now, I will say this: if you're looking for the better team recently, Gremlin started off the season 0-10. I'm not lying. 0-10. Now, I will say this: they scheduled a very, very tough non-conference games against teams like Florida, Drake, Washington State, Dayton, Iowa State, and Colorado. So, can't be mad at that. But you do have losses in there to Southeastern, Troy, Sam Houston. Bad losses, too. I mean, oogly, boogly, moogly. But then they get on a roll. Since January 6th, they only lost 4 games, for what it's worth. Since January 6th, they only lost 4 games, for what it's worth. Alabama A&M, Alabama State, Arkansas, Pine Bluff, and Texas Southern. Third Ward going hard. But excuse me. Dominant conference tournament, beat Alabama State by 6. Beat Bethune Cookman. Oh, by 8, and then they beat Texas Southern, Third Ward going hard in the championship by 9. Man, shout out to Grambling. I love that they're in. Would have loved to see Texas Southern in here just for some old, how do I call it? Some old time memories, I guess. Spent a lot of time on the Texas Southern campus back 2010, 2011. Oh, you were in school? No, I wasn't. I was, I can't tell you. I was having some fun. Anyway, my point is Montana State Grambling. Why are y'all betting this game to move the line 4 points? But I'm gonna get off of that. I have no give a damn. If I would bet anything, it'd be Grambling. 2 reasons. The hot team, Southside. Colorado. They're taking on Boise State tonight. This is a game that I really cannot wait to watch. I mean, giggity, 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 giggity. Last night, I will get to that game in a minute. Colorado State and Virginia. I thought it would be a lot better of a game. Everybody on Twitter said, I told you we were right. Virginia. Yeah. F them. One game, to be honest with you, it was horrible. I've been screaming all season for Virginia to be in the tournament. I was wrong. They proved me wrong. Tony Bennett, get your act together. Anyway, shout out to Colorado State, man. A team that I've been rooting for all year. I had a bunch of futures on them in the Mount West. But I'm glad they're in this tournament. I will break them down against Texas in a minute. Just a heads up, a little foreshadowing here. I like them. I love them. Give me Colorado State over Texas. But we'll talk about that game in a minutito. Boise State, Colorado. That game's tonight. Tip off about 12 hours from now. Feels so far away, but I am looking forward to it. I think Boise State takes it. Love Colorado. The problem with Colorado, I don't think they have a go-to guy. Cody Williams, I hope, and this is Cody Williams is the type of player. He plays 2 more seasons at Colorado. He could be one of the greats at Colorado. He can have his name up towards the top 5 of the record books at Colorado. He can leave a legacy. Next season, he will be even better. Probably won't be in this situation. Next season, I can see Colorado with a improved Cody Williams as a team that can make a Sweet 16 run. The problem is all these kids is transfer. I don't know how Cody Williams feels. I have heard nothing. Don't know anything about his plans. Hell, the kid might go to the NBA, and I'm just thinking he coming back. But I don't think he's there yet. I think tonight they're going to see a lot of exotic defensive looks. Boise State grew up in the Mount West this season, baby. They've played some rugged and rough teams. They have played some great games. This Boise State team is, as the kids say, built for it. They stand on a busyness. I've seen this Boise State team down to San Diego State by double digits twice in the same game in the second half. And what I mean by that, they down 12, bring it back to 4, go down again by about 12, and then you look up an hour later and they won the game in overtime. That's the kind of team this Boise State team is. They don't get rattled. They don't get scattled. I think Colorado's not ready for this. Colorado's not on this level. I hate to even talk down on the Pac-12 in its final season, but outside of Arizona, Oregon, Colorado really hasn't played anybody at this level. I mean, you're talking about a UCLA team, 500. USC was trash. Washington State was pretty good. They're in this damn tournament. Like Washington State. But the point I'm making is Colorado barely made it in from a horrible conference. I know the old adage, Mount West gets to the tournament and blows it. I think that's changing. I think we witnessed it last season. Even the season before, if you remember. There were a few that got through. Boise State, money line. Give it to me, baby. Plus 118. I'm all over it. Like nacho cheese on chips. Can I get some jalapenos? Give me Boise State, baby. I think they dominate this game start to finish. And even if they get down early, I am not worried. Colorado is the type of team, like I said, they don't have that glue guy, that go-to guy. They get down 6 or 7, it's going to turn into down 12. If they get in a late game situation, I don't know if they have the wherewithal to come out on top. Give me Boise State tonight. Strong, strong lean on Boise State money line. Excuse me. That Florida Boise State game is going to be a good one. Gonna be a good one. Anyway, let's jump into some of the games we haven't talked about yet. North Carolina, take your shirt off, wave it around your head like a helicopter. Shout out to Petey Pablo for you young kids that don't know. North Carolina is 24.5 point favorites over Wagner. Give it to me. Give it to me now. Uh, Carolina wins this game about 40. I'm thinking 90 to 50. The fact that the over under is 133. I mean, I guess, and I could be wrong. That's what the whole thing about gambling is. If I was right 100% of the time, I would not be talking to you guys right here. Be rich already. I would have retired in 2015. It's about 3 years after I really started gambling heavy. About 4 years after I started dabbling. About 5 years after I made my mind up that this is what I want to do. So if I was 100% for 3 years heavy, 1 year dabbling, and then 1 year just jumping in and out, learning, testing my feet. I mean, you got to understand. I don't know where I'm getting off this topic, but I jumped in this thing as a 17, 18-year-old. I didn't even know what a money line, spread, or total was. And I didn't really have anybody to teach me. Shout out to Google. Like I said, that first year was just learning. So if I bet this, I gotta lay 300 to make a nickel. Hell no. What this number is over here? OU. And you learn. You bet something. You see what happens. I thought I was going. I thought I. Hell. Anyway, long story short, I could be wrong, but unless the tournament thinks that they're gonna call this game at halftime, it's going over 133 and a hut. They're gonna be like, PPB, this game's 70-20. Let's make up a new rule. 50-point blowout rule. They getting that turkey dog whooped. Let's get Wagner out of here before their mothers get too embarrassed. Somebody call number 7's auntie. I think he's dead in the locker room. Sorry, that's a bad joke. I'm old. I got old jokes. We weren't sensitive back in my youth. But North Carolina, long story short, minus 24.5. I love it. Think they win this game by 40. I think you'll see this line move over the next course of the day. I mean, you come here tonight. If you watch this show at 6 p.m., this line is probably already at 26.5. Give me North Carolina minus 24.5. Easy, easy pick. Also love the over 133 and a hook. I mean, that's easy money. Pretty sure this game will be around 90-50. That gets into the 140s. Uno más game that we haven't talked about yet. Colorado State, baby. Isaiah Stevens. Shout out to him, the man, the myth, one of my favorite players, one of my favorite point guards in the nation, in the country. I've watched him over the last few years. He is the definition, the embodiment of what a college basketball player should be to me. All 4 years at Colorado State. I don't know if y'all saw earlier in the year, non-conference, they played Colorado. They beat Colorado. Isaiah Stevens has the emotional press conference. Uh, I've been here 4 years, never beat them. Finally beat them. This is all I wanted. I know he didn't mean this is all I wanted, as in out of the season. But out of a 4-year career, he means if I would have lost this game, it would have haunted me for the rest of my life, knowing I never beat Colorado, being a 4-year player at Colorado State. And that's the beauty of basketball. You get to fail, and if you're built tough, you work all summer and come back stronger, and you get another opportunity. But these kids just fail, transfer, fail, transfer, fail, transfer, leave no legacy at one place. Even if Isaiah Stevens loses that game to Colorado, he still is one of the greatest point guards ever at the Colorado State program. He will forever be revered at Colorado State and in Mount West basketball lore. And that's a fact. And Jack, trying to find his stats here from last night. I watched a little bit of the first half of this game, and then I had to go play in my game. Man, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, 5 points, filling up the stat sheet. No, I'm joking. But hey, man, that's what he does. He gets his teammates involved. They got the 20-point win. They're moving on to Texas. I think you see a lot more of him in this Texas Colorado State game. Now, I will say this: as much as I love Colorado State, I like Texas all season. If you watch the show, I have been saying Texas underrated. Texas underrated. Now Texas is coming in as 7 seed. I think that's rated appropriately. They have some big time players. I think if this is a close game, Texas might sneak away with it. I like Colorado State to win a 1-point game, 67-66 ish. what I'm thinking. I also love the under here in this game. 144 and the hook might be my lean, might be my play. This is how I know. I'm not going to say that. But this is bananas to me that it's 144. It's talking about a Colorado State team that plays most of their games in the 60s. They're not going to let Texas run. Texas doesn't even like to run. This game's staying in the 130s. Uh, best bet on this game under 144 and a hook. Even if one team touches 70, I think the other sits at about 65 to 67, which if you do the math, it's about 137. No, my projections for this game is a little under that. I think it's going to be about 134 to 136. 144 is way too high for this game, and it's juiced towards the over. So maybe I'm missing something. Maybe y'all are missing something, and maybe y'all are blaming it on Virginia. But if you, Colorado State put up what 67 last night, yeah, that's what it's gonna be about. I don't think Texas gets too far over 70. I'm gonna take the under comfortably. Um, One of my favorite bets this year has been Colorado State unders. I took it about a week ago under. I saw 150 something. I said, God damn. I think it was the New Mexico game in the Mount West tournament. Under cruised by easily. Give me the under in that Colorado State Texas game. Probably be the only under I play in this first round. Under 144 and the hook. And I might play a little bit on Colorado State, but maybe not. I do like Texas. I think that'll be a good game. I'm gonna play the under for sure. And that one. Sorry, I'm like trying to keep track of everything. Man, I can't believe I gotta redo my damn Thursday schedule. I gotta redo my Friday one too now. I didn't even think about it. I gotta go buy another poster board for the poster child. Real quick, I apologize. I don't have any timestamps today. Don't feel like it. Haven't wrote a timestamp down with 27 minutes in. Just gonna have to watch the show, but we're talking madness. Let's talk about a few line movements real quick. That I noticed that caught my eye. First game I want to talk about is Arizona, Long Beach State. I was crossing my fingers. I was hoping and praying that this game would stay at 19 and a half so I can come back and slap it. It moved to 20 in the hook. Now, for some reason, it's back to 19 and a half. Um, I get the Long Beach story. Amazing story. Beautiful story. I get that Princeton beat Arizona last year, first round. Um, but I think Arizona wins this game by 30 to 40 points. It's just how I feel. Uh, with that being said, I don't know why I wouldn't bet it at 20 in the hook, but I'll bet it at 19 in the hook. Definitely think this game will be in the 20s. Love Arizona State at 19 and a half. We'll look to play that here shortly. Arizona, I like that game a lot over Long Beach State at 19 and a half. Man, Mississippi State, Michigan State still holding steady. Been 1.5 this whole week. The money line has moved up and down a little bit. I saw Michigan State as high as 120, 123-ish. Right now it's back down to 113. Mississippi State minus 106. Pretty even, Steven. The under has came down a little bit. I believe it was 131 at one point. It is 130. Gun in my head, $100 on the over under Michigan State, Mississippi State. I'm playing the over, but I think that number is pretty sharp. I think we're looking at a 66, 65 type of game, which would get the over by a hook. That's my only fear. I think it gets into the 60s. I think it gets close to 70. 68, 65, 66, 69. It's going to be a close game. I think it barely creeps over. I think it's one of those games where it's like 14 seconds left. We need 2 more points. But anyway, BYU, it moved three numbers quick and it's been steady at 9.5. That is one of the most popular bets from what I have read around town. Creighton, it's been sitting steady at 12.5. Another one of the more popular bets. Um, this line movement right here is what kind of shocked me. I'm talking about Iowa State. A lot of people are on South Dakota State. This line has moved down, actually. Opened at 16.5, sat at 16.5, and I was kind of wondering, nobody's playing Iowa State. I don't get it. I feel like they have the easiest first round game of all. South Dakota State is, I mean, I guess the metrics say otherwise, but the old Rowan Dobbs test, South Dakota State shouldn't even be in this damn thing. But again, who am I? Who am I? 22-12. South Dakota State is 0-1 quad one, 0-2 quad two. Guess they had a good conference against nobody. Oh, they beat Denver. Who the fuck is Denver? Oh my God. Y'all gonna make me bet Iowa State. I didn't like Iowa. I'm not an Iowa State fan or Iowa State guy. Few reasons. Man, still got a bad taste in my mouth. One of my worst losses, one of my worst bets. Um, Iowa State. I was all over them. 2018, maybe 2019 in the tournament. I think it was 2018. It might have been 2017. Might have been 2017. Time's flying, man. That's 7 years ago. It's crazy. I forget the kid's name, but they had some superstar, Blase. They make it. Saturday night, I'll never forget it. Just, I don't know, man. That loss hurt. Never bet Iowa State again. Never looked at them again. But y'all gonna make me bet Iowa State minus the 15.5. South Dakota State, man, nothing special. I guess they can shoot average. A decent rebounding team. 70% free throws. Uh, 4 players in double digits. I don't see anything that jumps off the board that screams South Dakota State. I mean, I get it. They're getting 15, 16.5 points. Why not? I think that's one of those bets where people are like, why not? What I really think is people think Iowa State offense ain't going to score nothing, and it's going to be a defensive slugfest where Iowa State wins 65-57, and y'all going to cover the 15.5. Well, let me tell you guys something. Iowa State's one of the best defensive teams in the nation. If you think they're going to let a team hang around, they're going to lock their ass down, bruh. This game going to be like 70 to 45. Trying to tell you. Like I'm snitching. It's a lot of games, though, I think, like that. Kevin McCullers ain't playing for Kansas. That means good. Boy, it's trash. That means Kansas might actually have a good basketball player on the wing. Love Kansas at the minus 7.5. I've been waiting for all the squares to jump on Sanford and move that line down. I'm trying to get Kansas about 5.5. 4.5 would be an absolute beauty. Nothing else really popping off the page. Florida Atlantic's been taking some money on Friday. Moved from minus 1.5 to minus 2.5. I like it. I like Florida Atlantic. They're one of the teams everybody thinks shouldn't be in, but I don't agree with that. The only thing is, Boo Boo is the type of player that will steal one. I don't know if he steals this one. John L. Davis is a dang dog for Florida Atlantic. Um, Boo Booey against maybe 80% of point guards in this tournament, I would take. But Florida Atlantic, I think, has the guard play to stay with them. I told you yesterday I'm gonna be on that over. San Diego State back to 7.5. I told you. 7.5, 6.5, 7.5, 6.5. Now back for the third time to 7.5. Only reason that makes me happy is because I bet 7.5. I did miss out on a few 6.5s, but I would like to get that closing line the same as what I bet. Man, Duke taking a little bit of money. Still like that over. It's jumped back up to 132.5 since we talked last. Houston back to 123.5. I mean, he back to 23 and a hook. Was that 24 yesterday for a little bit? The game I'm most surprised in is this James Madison Wisconsin game. I thought that would be the trendiest game. Like everybody would be all over that. James Madison, James. Haven't heard anybody talk about it, so I'm gonna talk about it. James Madison plus 5.5 against Wisconsin is a steal of a bet. Even if Wisconsin wins this game, it'll be by the hair on my chinny chin chin. Um, love James Madison at 5.5. This game opened 4.5. I was expecting it to move to 2.5, 3.5. Sitting at 5 and a hook for about 2 days now. And the surprising news. Now this is very surprising. I might have to look something up. You don't get a line movement like this unless it's warranted. Utah State opens at 3.5. Move down to 2.5. And then I guess some big money's coming in. Push this game all the way back to plus 4.5. Some big money coming in on the Horned Frogs of TCU, Texas Christian. I still like Utah State in that game. I don't think people are underrating the Mount West, and I get it. There's some old bettors, even older than me, that probably just fade the Mountain West no matter what. And I think that's what's happening here. We're seeing money go against Boise State. We're seeing money go against Utah State. We're seeing money go against San Diego State. All of these Mount West teams, I think this the year they bite some people. And I know I hate to be that guy. There's two type of bettors. It's like I'm gonna bet the team that never bites you, hoping they bite you, and then you got the team that's like I'm gonna bet against them, and if they bite me for the first time, they bite me. I think this is the tides are changing. The tides are changing. Coming from the guy who already has bet 3 Mountain West teams in this first round. Yikes. The more I think about it. There's supposed to be 6 Mountain West teams in this thing. I guess I bet 4 if you count the Boise State bet tonight. Oh yeah, Colorado State, that's 5. Missing 1. Missing 1. Man, I still got to figure out who I think is going to win this whole thing. Still got to figure out who I think's going to win this whole thing. Nevada. That's the 6 Mount West team. I like Nevada too. Nevada? Nah, I bet that stuff be cracking me up. People from Nevada. It's Nevada, not Nevada. Man, that's what I just said. Nevada? The hell on out my face, bruh. Anyway, I'm gonna read some stats to you. I don't care about stats. I feel like y'all care about stats. Um, and believe it or not, these stats was interesting to me. It's the type of stuff you don't get anywhere else. Starting the West over here. North Carolina, 24th offensive ranking, 6th defensive ranking. Top 25 in both. Like I said, I usually don't care about this type of stuff. But I am looking for a winner outside of UConn and Baylor. Not Baylor. I like Baylor. UConn and Houston. I just can't get behind Houston. And I don't know why. I just think the hardest thing to do is go back to back. And I think that pressure will get to UConn. The sad part is I think UConn's best chance to lose is in the second round. I think if they get past that, I think that's where they can get caught up. They're gonna blow out this trash ass Stetson team. They're gonna see Florida Atlantic or Northwestern. And I think they're gonna be looking like San Diego State, Auburn. Boom! You got a chance to get them right there. Because once they get to that Sweet 16, I mean, I don't see anybody in the bottom of this bracket playing with them. Iowa State or Illinois, Washington State, Drake, BYU. I don't know. I think if you let UConn get to the Elite Eight or even the Sweet 16, they're just gonna run away with it. You got to get them early. That's the part that sucks about this tournament. That's why I really do wish this tournament. It's how do I say it? The first round don't matter to one seeds. They literally get a game off. I wish they was challenged all 6 games. I wish if only there was a way. There's a way. But no, I mean if only if there was a way. There's a way. All these first 4 teams, they should be like the good ones. The 16 seeds, this is how I look at it. And I mean, you got to get the small schools in there. I get it. I feel like the small schools need to go get their own tournament somewhere. But anyway, imagine this: Colorado State a 16 seed, Virginia a 16 seed, Boise State, Colorado, all 4 16 seeds. Them 1 seeds would be shaking in their boots right now, man. But hey, who am I? Why would I want even competition across the board? Huh? That's all I want. But anyway, Arizona, they're 8th in offensive efficiency rankings, and believe this, 12th. Surprised the hell out of me, because from the eye test, I've seen this team give up 90 something points to Oregon State. I've seen this team let Stanford drop 100 on their head. I guess they play defense when they want to, or was all of their blowout wins just making the stats look better? You gotta look at stuff like that. Because when this team's played good teams, we've seen Florida Atlantic drop 95, 96 on these kids' head. Albeit that was an overtime game. Relax, I know. The point I'm making is Arizona will give up a 90 to 100 points. Don't let these stats fool you. In New Mexico, 41st offensive, 23rd defensive. Top 50 in both. I know. All the squares looking. I'm looking for top 20. All right. Purdue, 4th in offense, 21st in defense. The problem with Purdue, the problem I always have with Purdue, especially this season, I've been talking about it since November, perimeter defense. One of these teams, whether it's Utah State, TCU, Gonzaga, McNeese, they're going to take advantage of the lack of perimeter defense, and they're going to bust Purdue ass. Tennessee, 3rd defense, 29th offense. But it's Rick Barnes. I think once you get out of the first round, this Tennessee team, you're going to have a tough road to hoe. Might have one of the toughest. You're going to get Colorado State or Texas. They're going to play with you. You beat them, hey, here's Creighton, Oregon, or South Carolina. That's a Sweet 16 matchup. Nightmare. And if you beat them, you're going to get Utah State or Gonzaga, I think. Which I think both of those teams beat Tennessee. I don't think Tennessee makes it to the Sweet 16, really. I think they get got in that second round. Just a Rick Barnes trend, if you ask me. Now, let's talk about, I'm going to talk Creighton real quick. 12th in offense, 24th in defense. Talking about in the nation. 12th in offense, 24th in defense. Creighton is experienced. Core's been together for 3 or 4 seasons. Bunch of seniors, a bunch of talent. Big guy Kyle Brenner doing his dang thing. Bunch of shooters. This team is built for March. I think I've been blindsided. I like Creighton a lot. But I'm blindsided by South Carolina and Oregon, who I got more futures than Metro Boomin on. I think I need to take a deep look at this Creighton team to make a deep run. Creighton is definitely the kind of team that can beat South Carolina or Oregon. Definitely the kind of team that can beat Tennessee or Texas or Colorado State. I can see this Creighton team in the Elite Eight the more I look at it. And then here's Gonzaga or Utah State. Creighton might be a Final Four team that nobody's thinking about. Hey, 12th in offense in the country, 24th in defense in the country. I love it. Check out this. Gonzaga, 9th in the country in offense, 46th in defense. What would you rather? 9 in offense, 46 in defense, or 12 in offense, 24 in defense? I like Creighton the more I look at it, man. I like their path. Uh, sheesh. Creighton's the kind of team that'll mess up some futures. I dare you, boy. I dare you. Might have to just hedge all my futures with some Creighton bets. Make sure I win either way. Houston, 17th in offense, 2nd in defense. My fear with Houston, I love Kelvin Sampson. Has brought lesser teams to Final Fours. We've seen it happen. Never has Houston had a target on their back. This is the first time Houston's playing as a big dog in the game. I think their offense just goes cold. I've seen games where the front court just falls apart last 2 minutes of a game. Jamal Sheed, as great as he is, he's not going to drop 30 points. He's going to play some defense, though. He's going to move that rock. Excuse me. But I got a fear Houston's going to go cold for 12 minutes at the wrong time. And that's nothing, no stats to back it. It's just a fear of mine. That's why I have such a problem betting Houston to win it all. Now, I will say this. I've done 4 brackets. Guess what? 2 of them got UConn winning. 2 of them got Houston winning. That's the enigma that is this bracket. It's hard to truly find a winner outside of those two because they are so good. The eye test, the metrics. UConn and Houston are the 2 best teams in the world. And if they didn't have a target on their back, I wish both of these teams was 4 seeds. And I was the only one that thought they were the best team in the world. Hey, newsflash, that's what happened last year. I was the only one on UConn in the world. You're welcome, whoever the hell listened. Duke, 7th offense, 26 defense. If they wasn't so soft, I would love this Duke team to make a run. You got Vermont, who I think is gonna. I'm not gonna say they're gonna upset them. They're gonna scare the hell out of them. Scare the hell out of them. And then you got to go play Wisconsin or James Madison. Another game that if they don't win, they're gonna scare the hell out of them. Talking about if Duke wins, they're gonna still get. And then you got Houston. I don't know. Duke just has a tough road, and I think they too soft to get through a tough road. Halfway through a game, down 8, Kyle's gonna start crying. I'm talking about Filipowski. Soft. That spells Filipowski. He's gonna start crying, tripping, fighting in the locker room with snot bubbles. They just not built for this, man. Marquette, 21st offense, 19th in defense. I love that. I love that. I've just seen Marquette get tripped up too many times this year. If you look at their path, got an easy first round game, and then you run into Florida or Boise State or Colorado. But then you run into probably Kentucky. Tough path for Marquette. Shaka Smart has never had too much March success. And this is where it bites the bubble again. Are you going to only bet teams that's had previous success? Are you going to try and jump out on a limb and get a team to get their first one? Are you going to jump out on a limb and bet on a coach to break through and get over the hump? Talking about Kelvin Sampson. That's my fear. I've never seen him get over the hump. Why can't he do it this year? Every coach has their first year where they get over the hump. Matt Painter, Rick Barnes, Shaka Smart. I've never seen these guys get over the hump. Greg McDermott, Bruce Pearl, Nate Oates. There's so many teams and coaches here. And I feel like if you limit yourself, and I'm talking to myself, to only betting on players and coaches that you believe in, there's got to be one that's going to break through. I just don't know if Shaka Smart's the one. Kelvin Sampson. I know it ain't Matt Painter. I know it ain't Rick Barnes. But I do like Calvin Sampson. I do like Shaka Smart. I do like Bruce Pearl. That's the beauty of the madness, baby. It's maddening. Anyway, Wisconsin, 13th in offense. Surprising? Yes. They have been one of the best Big Ten schools offensively. All of their games have been high 70s, low 80s. They're a dirty team. They're going to bow you. They're going to pull your shorts down. And not to be racist, there's a bunch of white boys. They don't have a line. They might grab your balls in the middle of the game. They'll do anything to win. They're hard nosed. No, I'm kidding. They're dirty, is what they is. But Wisconsin, 13th offensively, 47th defensively, and like I said, they're dirty. They're willing to do the dirty work. Trip somebody, dive on the floor, talk about your mama. Oh yeah, they'll talk about your mama. But anyway, Wisconsin is an underrated team. That James Madison matchup is very, very interesting. And then that second round matchup against Duke is very, very interesting. Dang, is this the team was the year Wisconsin? I think that's the funny part about this year. We're gonna have a team like Wisconsin, Kentucky, Creighton, South Carolina, Iowa State. It'll be crazy to me. Imagine if you get a Wisconsin. I guess that'll be Final Four. If we end up with Wisconsin and Gonzaga, I could see it happening. A few more teams here, real quick. And this is where it gets to these are the best teams in the country. UConn is first offensively. If you watch this team, they treat teams like high school kids. They just ball the hell out of them. You look down, you look up. Damn, it was just 6, right? Yeah, it's 22 now. How do you bet against UConn? How do you bet against UConn? I wish there was that 4 seed last year that nobody saw coming. I bet them 2,000 last year and felt confident in it. I just don't see it. The favorites winning, especially going back to back, man. It's a lot of pressure. I can see them just going cold. I can see them, what's it called? Not respecting their opponent. That's why I think that second round matchup is very, very, very interesting. Because I could easily see these cats without even thinking about it, without even talking about it. I can see everybody on this team, including the coaches, even right now before they play Stetson, looking at Auburn, San Diego State, and just in case, UAB and Yale. I can see them thinking we're already in the Sweet 16. Same with Houston, man, but I don't know. I would never bet Nebraska or A&M against Houston, but I can see them getting got. And that's the thing. Where can you see these cats get got? Auburn. My boy G Money on the Bruce Pearl train. I can see it. Speaking of Auburn, 10th in offense in the nation. Guess where the defense is? 4th. Now that's some right there, boy. Top 10 in both? offense and defense. Hell, I think G Money might be on to something with this Auburn. They got a tough matchup against Yale, but guess what? I got them covering the 11.5. San Diego State might give them some trouble, but we've seen San Diego State get beat this year. I think he's on to something, huh? Sweet 16, Auburn, UConn. Got the first offense against the 10th, against the fourth defense, and then you got the 11th defense against the 10th offense. Auburn. Bruce Pearl gonna get it done this year, huh? BYU, 11th. Offense, 48th. Defense. BYU is another sleeper team. The only reason I think they're a sleeper team is because their first round matchup is not really getting talked about. Duskowski. I think everybody just assumes that they're going to be in the second round and they're not going to get talked about until they get to that second round. Then Saturday we'll see them against Morehead State or Illinois. Very beatable. Illinois is great offensively, but their defense is they leave more to be desired. Let's just put it like that. Now we're just gonna go rapid fire. Few teams. Few teams that a lot of people are on, but let me tell y'all, this is why you shouldn't be on them. And I could be wrong. Again, I'm not a big stat or metrics guy, but I figured why the hell not? Grab every stat and metric that I do find interesting and throw it at you and let y'all do what you want with it. Iowa State, one of the best defenses in the country, 55th in offense. Alabama, one of the best offenses in the country, 112th in defense. This is non-conference conference, regular season. Illinois, I just talked about their defense being trash. They're 93rd in adjusted defense. Kentucky, there's a lot of offensive teams in this bracket that can't guard. What's the joke when they say they can't guard? They can't play deep. They can't guard nobody. That's the joke. Kentucky, 108th adjusted defense. As great as Baylor is, I think Baylor's one of those teams you got to watch out for. They're a 3 seed. The only problem is I think their round of 32 matchup will be the best game in the entire tournament. Them against New Mexico or Clemson will be one to watch. But I think the winner of that game, Baylor, Clemson, Baylor, New Mexico, I think they're going to go on and end up in the Elite Eight at least. And I think I don't know. Well, nobody really talks about North Carolina. And I'm kind of exaggerating. According to bracketology, they're the third high. What's it? I don't know. Everybody's betting UConn, Houston, UNC is the third team to win it all. But Baylor, 64th in adjusted defense, and then you got Kansas, who's 65th in adjusted offense. No surprise there. I've been telling you since November, Kansas can't score a lick. But honestly, and I hate to bash the kid, I think they'll be better without Kevin McCullers. Because for some reason, people think Kevin McCullers is going to drop 2025. And for some reason, the kid's trash and he never does it. But he's getting shots like he's going to do it. So I think it'd actually be better for him without him distracting the rest of the offense. Man, I'm geeked. I can't wait. I think tonight's games are going to be pretty darn good. And by tonight's games, I'm talking Colorado, Boise State, Grambling, Montana. I will be watching the NIT instead. Why the hell are these teams even in this? But anyway, today's the last day also for anybody interested that's watching. Jump in the tournament bracket with me and my boys to make some noise. $20 to get in. Hit me up on the X at Rowan Donaghy. Should see it scrolling at the bottom here in the second. Here it comes right now. If you want to join, just slide in my DMs. Give you all the info you need. But anyway, the madness is here. The madness is coming. Tomorrow, I will be here to break down all of Thursday's games in a little more detail. I will be here to give you all of my Thursday bets. Haven't even added up what games are Thursday and Friday to figure out how much. But I'll probably have 8 to 12 bets for you for mañana. Another 8 to 12 bets for you for Friday. It's madness, baby. We're gonna be jumping into it, going crazy. Also, I haven't decided yet, but I might or might not be going live during some games tomorrow. My favorite team, Michigan State's playing first. Hey, you never know. What you never know. Watch me get my heart broken early. Anyway, thank y'all for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the support. This is Captain by a Hook with the Red Beard, presented by Stare Down Sports. I am Rowan Donaghy, aka Rowan Dobbs, going live on a fantastic, amazing Wednesday. It is the 20th of March, about 26 hours away from March Madness tipping off. Please take all of these wagers at your own risk, and please, please gamble responsibly. Boise State money line tonight for those that didn't catch it earlier. Holla!